The review that we're going to get into tonight is Mages of Mystralia from Borealys Games. It was released May 18th, 2017. You can find it on Steam for $24.99. Mages of Mystralia is an action-adventure indie game set in a world of magic. Your mind is the greatest weapon. Learn the ways of magic and design your own spells to fight enemies, navigate treacherous terrain, and right past wrongs in the kingdom of Mystralia. Monica, what did you think going into this game? What were your expectations?
What were my expectations? I don't know. Okay, so I only did a little bit of reading. I'm actually the one that found the game and was like, Brian, let's do this one. This one looks kind of neat. I only did a little teensy bit of reading about it, and it sounded like it looked like it should have been almost like an RPG or something, but it sounded like it was almost just a crafting game. Based off the little bit I read.
Sure.
And so I didn't really quite know what to expect. The only thing that I knew is that it had won tons of awards. Like, you know when you go and you remember the olden days when you would like go to the movie rental place and like they would have like the one indie film that had like every single award known to man on the cover of the DVD. And I would just be like, well, that one's good. I'll go, watch that one tonight. That's how I felt about this game, where it just had all of these awards. South by Southwest. It won Best Game at, like, PAX South and everything.
Yep.
And I was just like, well, it's got to be good.
It had a bunch of those, like, the leaves or what are the leaves that go around the award things?
I don't know. But, yeah.
Barleys?
Exactly. I'm like, I was like, well, it's got to be great. So I had high expectations. I had high expectations because of the awards and the little bit I had read.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. You like sent this to me. I was like, cool name. Which Mandroid, who was our guest last week, he taught me to pronounce it like Australia, Mystralia. All the awards had me interested. I thought the art style looked very fucking cool from all the screenshots and videos. I did do a little research before I jumped into it. Kind of cool story for this game. It was a Kickstarter game. They didn't go to Kickstarter to make the game. They kind of had the proof of concept. They're a Canadian developer. They developed the game, but the game didn't have the polish they were looking for. So they did a Kickstarter campaign to fund like the polishing of the game, fleshing out animations, making everything just like look a little better, add more spells to it. So interesting use of the Kickstarter website. Mm-hmm. I know Ed Greenwood was attached to this game. He's basically the dude who designed the Forgotten Realms world that all those books are set in. So like I was like, after I read that, I was like, all right, I'm fucking ready, dude. I was completely pumped for this game. I think I've played more hours into this game than I have any other game we reviewed. So I was definitely looking forward to it. So Mages of Mystralia, what were some other things that you liked about it, Monica?
Okay, so it didn't really hit me until right before we started the show. But like, I feel like tonight we were kind of talking, we talked about the only girl syndrome. Yep. And like, we talked about touching cosplay is not consent. And oddly enough, one of the things that I really liked about this game was the protagonist.
Yeah.
I liked the protagonist at first.
Kia.
Wasn't it Zia?
Zia? Is that it? Am I missing two of the?
It was Zia, but maybe
K's and X's are similar. I'll let you have Zia. I think you're right. Kia is just a car that no one wants to drive.
So I guess like the reason why I liked the protagonist was at first I was like, what is this troll doll looking motherfucking, how they tame that troll doll hair, and she's got like these big ears and everything, and I was just like, that's what I look like as a little girl. I fucking hate this. I hated my ears, and then I realized this is cool because in the story, there's one we should explain the story a little bit.
Sure.
It kind of follows like a traditional, nothing crazy within the storyline. There's a king who got mages and magic were used throughout the land.
The Mad King.
And the bad king came in and he got into the dark magics, and then magic was banned everywhere because of his wanting to hold on to the power.
Yep.
And then once every 10 years, someone is born that is just naturally inclined to magic, and so enters in this young girl who's a really cool protagonist. You know, you don't see young female protagonists often, so I thought that was exciting.
Definitely not in this genre.
And not only that, but like, you know, it goes along with the style as well, but she's not any type of sex symbol. Like at all. She's just a young girl who is naturally inclined. She's gifted.
Yeah.
And she is then, you know, destined to make a difference. And I liked that a lot.
Yeah, I do think that the protagonist is a big plus in this. She kind of has.
Is that on your number 3? Is that in your top 3 though?
It would have been number 4.
Okay.
And it's only because
yeah,
I think it's just kind of a mental thing because I don't think of those terms. If I was a lady, I'm sure it would have been my top 3. You know what? But you're right, and she was like a very cool character. She is someone who is kind of in the dark about the magic world and doesn't realize everything going on in it. But that doesn't mean she's completely naive. She's a smart person. She's kind of hip to like, hey, we should be doing this and that, you know, doing the right thing. So definitely, I did like the protagonist. I think that the biggest thing that I really loved about this game would probably be the spell system in this game.
Okay. I knew that.
Why? Because it's so fucking awesome. Yeah.
It is. I literally, in my notes, I was like, this is my note here. Spells are fucking, and in all caps, cool.
Fantastic.
That's really my note. But yeah, I'm 100%. Why did you like them?
I love this because just a kind of like basic overview of what you can do with the spells. You have a base spell. There's 4 different ones. There's like a lightning one, fire. So like there's like 4 basic spells. And so then you can augment the spells by adding different effects to it. And you find these different effects throughout the land, like solving puzzles, opening up hidden treasure chests. So like let's say you have a fire spell that you just shoot, or that you leave like a ball of fire that kind of explodes a little bit. Then you can find a forward augmentation. You add that to the spell, and then you can shoot the fireball. And then you get crazy, and you can find a right hook augmentation that adds a right circular hook to your fire shot. And there are spells like that throughout the entire game. You can have ones that bounce. You can have them cause chain reactions. This spell system is one of the coolest ideas I've ever played through in a game. And I don't know why every game that involves any type of magic or combat doesn't have this.
I feel like this game may actually start implementing that in a lot of different games. Like I think that what they do with the spell system, I can't think of something that is this unique in the past, but I feel like they have created something really exciting here with the spell system. And one thing that like I said, that was on my list as well of the things that I liked. You're not going through this game and just like unlocking a specific spell. You are creating.
Yes.
You are creating, and it's really fun. You know, I think a lot of people could appreciate that and enjoy it, and you can create these amazing spells that will soon become your favorite, and you crafted it, and you get to use it the way you see
can name
fit,
your spells.
Yeah, it's really really awesome.
It's like when you sit around with your friends and you say to yourself, like, or to your friends, like, wouldn't it be cool if there was just like a game where you could like do this and that? It's like these guys had that conversation and then they went and did it because this is every cool conversation you've had about what like a game could do different.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, like every spell is yours. You create the spell, you name it. I know one of my spells that like kind of like you just shift and dash forward. Like I called it like the James Brown, because like once you stopped, you like knocked everything back. So that's my James Brown spell. It really made me feel like I had ownership of the protagonist and the game and the story that was going on in a game where everything's kind of linear.
Mm-hmm.
What's something else that you like from this game?
So there is a lot to like in this game. So our kind of rule of thumb is that we find 3 things that we like, and we have to find 3 things that we didn't. And so I wanted, there was a lot to like. I could say multiple things in this category, but I wanted to be a little bit more unique. What I liked specifically with the style and the art was the distance shots. So hold on. Woo!
God bless you.
Excuse me. Thanks.
You're welcome.
God bless me. Woo! I've been blessed and I'm ready to rumble. All right. So, I actually liked, like, if you go and you view any trailer as you're watching the game or playing the game yourself, there's a lot to be liked about the environment. But I specifically really liked the art that you see in the distance. When you're playing any type of like RPG or like adventure type of game, and like, so you get into that, you get to see the mountains or something far away, and it's like, I don't care how many games I have played, if the art or whatever is designed back there looks cool, I get excited, and I sometimes get goosebumps. And I didn't necessarily get goosebumps in this game because it wasn't realistic, but it was still really cool.
Yep.
And I was excited to see that in a game with this type of art style, which is a little bit more cartoony. I thought that was awesome. So
it feels like world building, like you're in the world, like they own it with those distant shots.
Yeah, exactly.
I would jump in like with like the art and the style of this game. Definitely cool. The best way I could describe it, if you think of like a Zelda game from nowadays, like Wind Walker and whatever the most recent one is, because I'm a huge nerd and I know this kind of stuff. If they took that and put it in like a 2D, like top-down view, perspective view again, that's what this game kind of achieved. It really has a fantastic palette that they're working with colors-wise. Some of the colors and the way they contrast against each other were just like downright beautiful. Everything, like when they're highlighting the edges of the characters, like everything works. The music in this game is absolutely top-notch. They went to the company that Square Enix uses, the video game orchestra. They're based out of Boston. They went in and like used this orchestra to record this music, and it just fits. Sometimes I feel like it's so good that it feels a little bit out of place and distracting, because it's so big and epic, and for this like kind of simple of a art style, it kind of doesn't work a little bit, but it's still like really great music. So I don't want to knock it for that, but I don't know. Anything else that you like from this game?
No, those are my 3. Well, I mean, I liked a ton of things, but those
I know. I guess the last thing, I don't want to like go through this without mentioning how good the puzzles were in this game.
That's good. That's a good point.
Yeah, normally like these kind of like simple action games, like the puzzles are just like mind-numbing, but the puzzles in this game were really intelligent and really you had to be creative to solve them. And you had to be creative in how you use the spell system to come up with the solution on how to like solve these puzzles. It's just excellent game design, excellent execution. I just didn't want to like not tap on that because I know there are a few people at that studio who just sat there and like hammered out these puzzles.
Right. And I feel like our listeners will definitely want, if they're interested in puzzle games, like that should sell you. Like, that should sell you on it, right there. So, yeah, it's good that you mentioned that.
All right, let's move on to some of the things that we disliked about Mages of Mystralia.
All right, I can start.
Here we go. Woo!
I'm tired of these damn pots. Why is money and shit hiding in pots all over these worlds? God damn it! You know what? When are these game companies gonna stop using these damn pots everywhere? They're just breaking pots. Who runs around the world breaking pots all the fucking time? You steal out of a house or something. I'm so tired of the pots.
Who just leaves money and like magical items in pots laying around all over the place?
I don't know. And you know what? It was cute. It was cute the first 500 times it was done, but why the pots now? Can't we find a new thing to get? You know, can you like make the currency and the things that you need come out of the nature or whatever?
Come out of the nature.
Come out of the nature. Why the pots? I'm tired of breaking shit. I'm tired of being destructive. You know, this is, I would almost, have you ever heard of those like stores where you, or like those, what, I don't know what you would call them, where you go and you rent a room and you get to break shit in it? Those places probably just exist. You never heard of that? It's like called like anger rate, like it's anger management, but you go to a place and they set up a room for you, you get just smash TVs and shit in it. I don't know,
dude. I'm a cook. I fucking break shit and throw like pots and pans against walls all the time.
All right. Fair enough. But all I'm saying is that those places probably exist because we're a generation that's grown up having to break pots to get what we want. Like, this is out of control. I really just wish, like, make the currency and like the things come out of nature, like, or something unique.
Right.
Beat up kids in order to get money. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm tired of the pots, so that's
I'm down.
my
Like,
negative.
put those kids over your knees and get some coins to buy yourself a new shield.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah, I guess that's kind of, I guess I can tie this into my first dislike with his, like, pots are generic. This story is kind of generic. That's my biggest dislike about this whole game, is that this game is so generic, dude. The story is so, like, it's just not deep at all. And this is from Ed Greenwood, who's like got such a huge span, and maybe he like is out of ideas. I don't know. I don't want to knock the guy. Ed Greenwood is beloved in my heart. And when I saw he was attached to this and what he gave us, like when the story is that there's a mad magic king who ruined magic for everybody, but once every 10 years, there's one mage that's born. And that's our protagonist. And that mage is going to take us to the promised land. Like, I've been there, dude. I've read that story 30 fucking times. I get it. I was pretty disappointed.
Jealous. I think you're jealous that you're not the mage that was chosen.
You don't know if I want to be ZR, right? You don't know what's in my heart. You don't know what villages I want to save or forest I want to cleanse.
I agree with you, though. The story was a little flat.
Very predictable. And like, ooh, you know where we're not supposed to go? The Dark Tower. Literally, they call it the Dark Tower. That's where you're not supposed to go. Like, it's I don't know. One of the places is called the Rift, and like that word's been used all the time. I just don't get why this game, which has so much going for it, just kind of took these. I don't know if I want to call them shortcuts, but they didn't take the time to really build out a unique world. Where they had so much uniqueness available to them with the spell system. Like, just like take, like Ed Greenwood's here. Like, take the push. Do it, dude. Do it. Just go.
Yeah, I can see that. Also, I think that this game can, could be played by all ages.
Yeah.
And for people that aren't old and bitter like us, they haven't heard this story 45 times. You know what I mean, though?
We're ruined.
Like,
Yeah.
For us, we've heard it a million times, but we've also been around a million years. You know, so like.
Fair enough.
But I do agree with you. It left something to be desired. So like, if they wanted this to be the story to like really appeal to people that have. hit puberty and then some, then they could have adjusted a little bit.
This game's going to be very well received. It's not going to be a classic because of the story.
Right.
It's kind of where my heart felt. Tying into that for me is the dialogue for this game. it's not the best written game. The dialogue's kind of weak, and I think the dialogue gets lost in translation a little bit because the developers are from Montreal, so they are French speaking, and I think a lot of this stuff in their head that sounds like really solid French that translates into English, but there are some basic, like from your mentor, who, by the way, in the story, after you run from the village that you blew up or whatever, your mentor just magically appears, like we get at Obi-Wan. He just has like some of the most non-conversational dialogue I've ever seen in a video game, where he just randomly says, "Oh, life is so easy, is it?" Like, what? Like, Zia's a fucking kid who just blew up her fucking home. Why don't you pump the brakes a little bit, mentor? Like, just slow down, bro.
Okay, so we have to get into this. That's actually one of my things I didn't like. The mentor is a dickhole.
He is a dickhole.
Why is he so mean? This
Dude.
is just like this little girl. She just found out that she's just like one of the 10, like, or the one within the 10 years that's been born. You know, she ruins her own home, has to run away from her village. She seems kind of cool with it. Like, oh fuck, I did it again. And but the mentor comes in. He's like, I'm going to mentor you, you little fucking brat. Like, he's such an asshole, and I just didn't understand it. And not only that, but I'm just like, for this little girl to have so many powers and everything, why is she just taking this from this shit guy like me? Like,
yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? So I liked her. I thought she was like a strong character. She was, you know, interesting and everything. But I also was just like, man, you should fire your manager. You should fire your boss here. You have a future, young lady, and this old dickhole is holding you back. That's how I felt about it.
This old dickhole is holding you back.
Yeah.
How many like sugar daddies do you think have had that said about them in life? Yeah, the mentor is
at least one.
I think that's really kind of it for things I disliked. I think it maybe this game pulls a little bit too much from games like Zelda. I'm not sure.
But how can you not, like, how can you complain about that? Zelda's a great franchise. So
it is a great franchise.
The thing that I didn't like, the last thing that I had an issue with, was that it wasn't necessarily the script, although I felt the script had left something to be desired. But the script is part of the story, and we already hit on the fact that the story is kind of neat. Yeah. But when they are talking, like, hello, anime reactions, like, they will be having a conversation, and she'll go, oh? Like, and no one converses like that. It is very, like, emoji based,
yes,
like, ridiculous responses to one another, which kind of took me out of whatever mediocre dialogue we were even participating in.
Yeah.
But I still have to say that regardless of the awkwardness sometimes with those emojis, like, these characters are well done. And the style and the art and everything is interesting. So,
yes, very well done. I think like I think they raised something like $250,000 on Kickstarter for polishing. Apparently, that went into like adding new spells to the spell system, which obviously that paid off.
The spell system rocks.
Yes, and the animations being smooth, that's cool. Maybe we could have like spent a little money hiring a voice actors to kind of narrate this game outside of reading dialogue. This game definitely feels like a old school RPG updated, like an action RPG. I felt like I was playing an old RPG in the modern era with the way everything was playing out. Reading dialogue is just kind of a thing of the past, man. Like, you have got to, unless I'm like choosing what I'm gonna pick, kind of like Fallout, like the Telltale games, unless I'm doing stuff like that, you have got to hire voice actors nowadays. It's just very awkward to sit there and read and then get the anime emoji reactions like you would in old school RPGs, where they would have a speech bubble come up with like the tiers or like the ZZZs. So I'll agree with that. Anime emojis, Borealys, we can do a little better. My man. My dudes. Final thoughts. Mages of Mystralia, where you at?
I'm definitely a thumbs up on this game. I want to say that I didn't finish it. However, there seems to be about 15 to 20 hours of gameplay. What's the price? Is it 24?
$24.99. $25 if you're like a regular person.
Yeah, $25.
If you're not trying to sell it to somebody, $25.
Yeah, 25. And I think that I think it's worth that. I think that the spell system, and just the art style and everything, this is an engaging game. And so the things that we had to nitpick for it, or I had to nitpick for it, you know, being sick of pots and those types of things, you know, like that, those are definitely negatives for me. But overall, this is a fun game, and I enjoyed it, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it. You know, so if this is up your alley, if you like puzzles, if you are interested or intrigued by being able to craft. I just made up a word. Craft.
Ooh, craft
spells. If you're interested in,
you just sound like a redneck. If you go ahead and craft that,
you want to go craft.
Girl, do I.
So I think that you will enjoy this. I definitely recommend it, even if it's a little bit of a higher price point than what we normally review. But I think people will like it. So thumbs up.
Thumbs up for Monica. I'm going to go ahead and just go along with that and put my big thumb up in the air.
Oh my gosh, you're such a copycat. I'm just kidding.
It's only because I'm a gentleman. I'll let you go first.
Okay.
You're copying me on this one, all right?
Oh, all right, gotcha.
Yeah, like you said, like our dislikes are almost feel nitpicky. It's more so like I see the opportunity missed in this game for the things I disliked. This game has so much going for it, and it's so fun. It's been a while since I played a game and just kind of like had a wave of like happiness like come over me. Like I'm really enjoying being a gamer. And I think it's because this game pulls on nostalgia from your youth with like the old school vibe of it. But I really loved just being in this world, playing it. I've put some time in this game. I am definitely going back to finish this game this week. So definite thumbs up. Go out and pick up Mages of Mystralia for yourself. It's $25 that, like, what else are you going to do with your money? Buy a shittier game? This is probably the best indie game out being released right now. So go ahead and pick it up for yourself. Oh, I just thought, you know what? Final thought. Instead of the... God damn it. There should be an XP system in this because you have to go back and refight some of the same monsters to go back through the areas. There should be an XP system. I just thought of it. That's my final thought. I'm gonna email it to him real quick. Just put an XP system in, Borealys. But other than that,
all right.
Yeah. Mages of Mystralia. Like we said, you find it on Steam for $24.99 from Borealys Games, developed and published from them. This is their first game they've ever put out. Action adventure, find it on Steam. Go ahead and pick it up for yourself. 2 big thumbs up from the Backspace Nomads